Hello everybody, and welcome back to Ant Holleufer. Today we'll have a look at the Novomessor Cockerelli colony once again. This is episode number 2, so go check out episode number 1 if you haven't already. Else, not much introduction needed. Let's start the video. So this right here is their setup today, and as you can see it is really dirty. So today I'm gonna bring you with me and clean it off. So the first thing you notice is they have actually made a very nice trash pile out of the dead fruit flies. And another thing, they have completely plugged up their nest entrance with seeds. So what I just took out there was their sugar water liquid feeder, and the 3 in the bottom are just water feeders because they are really thirsty. Now this is where I would really like to hear what you guys do here, because I can't really figure out how to take out all of these fruit flies. Is there any method that I don't know of? Because I don't know, I'm just really struggling, because when it's done I don't feel like I have cleaned it at all. And as you can see right here, this is one of the liquid feeders that is half empty, and all 3 feeders have to be filled up every single week. That's how thirsty they are. So I water their nest 2 to 3 times a week, which is in my eyes a lot, and I also have to refill all 3 liquid feeders once a week, so they're just crazy thirsty. But luckily it is very quickly to refill these liquid feeders, and they are back in the game once again. As you can see here, I just don't know how to take the last part of the trash, the wings and the small seeds, and just let me know what you do, guys, because I'm really lost. I tried some different things, but none of it really works. As you can see, they have really completely just filled up the nest entrance with seeds, and as I said in the last episode, I think this is why they need some new substrate, and I am gonna be giving them that in this episode. But before we do that, let's take a look at the nest. And as you can see, it is actually really clean in my eyes still. I have fed them a lot, and they bring all of their food inside the nest, and it is pretty dirty at the nest entrance, but the nest itself is really nice to look at still. And as you can see in the top corner, this is where the nest is most heated when I have them on the heat mat, which they are on every day except for when I'm recording them, and this is why they have decided to lay all their brood. So the reason the larvae is at the top is that's where we have the heat mat, and that is always turned on, and that means that this is the hottest place inside the nest, and that is good because it will speed up the development of the larvae. But as you can see, the colony is really looking nice. It is not that long ago since the last episode was made, so they haven't gotten any new workers, but as you can see, the larvae has grown quite a lot since episode number 1. So one of the things that is really amazing with this colony is every time I feed them fruit flies, they just run out and grab them and run inside and feed them to the larvae, and I've seen it so many times, so I wanted to record it this time. Normally I don't record it because I don't want to disturb the ants too much, but today is the day where I record the ants, so today is the day where I want to see them feed the larvae. So I have seen it a few times before. They drag the fruit fly in and put them next to the larvae, and then the larvae will start feasting on them. And not long after we had the first worker out looking, or almost out looking, she was a little bit shy and decided to stay back. Not long after though, she almost took a peek, but no, it was a little bit too scary for her. So while we wait for this worker to check out the fruit flies outside, I have noticed something pretty weird. They still haven't brought the seeds inside the nest. They only use it for a stopper for the nest entrance. So I don't know, in my eyes they don't really seem to like seeds at all. So a few people said last episode that it may be because they are not hungry. They have gotten the protein they need, so they are not hungry for seeds. But as you can see, the worker is just playing around with this massive seed. So inside the nest, most of the time the workers are on the hot part, whereas the queen is actually normally on the cold side of the nest, which I found quite funny, as she'll almost always stay completely alone while the workers are on the hot side, but I think this may be due to the hydration. So whenever I hydrate the plaster, all the workers go crazy and straight away goes over to drink This didn't happen right away today though, so while we wait for the workers to notice that they have been hydrated, once again all the workers have decided to go in the hot side, and what you can see is their social stomach is actually really full. And that means they are happy, they are not hungry, and that's what you want to see as an ant keeper. Not long after though, the ants finally realized that the plaster had been hydrated and they started drinking. So once again, I give them 3 liquid feeders and water the nest 2 or 3 times a week. And I don't know why they're so thirsty. It's completely crazy to me. But that's how it is. Some colonies are just really thirsty. So the worker never left the nest, and after around a half hour, I decided to push the fruit fly even closer to the nest entrance. And not that long after, a worker finally decided to exit the nest entrance. And she's about to discover it. She smells it with her antennae. And she goes over to bite it. And no. She just walks away. But all the other fruit flies, no. Smells it a little bit. No. Checks it out a little bit more. Smells it. And decided to just walk away. So I don't know why the worker wasn't that happy. As you can see here where she enters the nest entrance, she walks really fast. And she has probably sent out pheromones saying we have food out here. And only 30 seconds later she decided to walk out once again. And once again go straight past it. No, she realized it. Go over to the others. I don't know, guys. When I saw this, I was so confused because every single time I have fed them, they have been so aggressive and just taking the food and bringing it home. But this worker just doesn't seem to be that hungry at the moment. It may just be because, you know, their stomachs are full. They don't require more food. Another worker pops out and starts wandering around. But she isn't that interested either. So I was just sitting here recording this, so confused. I had waited almost an hour before the ants finally discovered all the fruit flies, and they didn't do anything. The second worker just walked around on the liquid feeder, and I don't know, I was so disappointed when I saw this. I just expected to get some amazing clips, but I just didn't. So I took a little time lapse to see what happened, and the worker just started carrying seeds inside the nest once again. And I don't know if this is because their nest was wide open because I was recording them that they'd reacted so differently, but I was just so disappointed. So I took a time lapse of them while I was away, and to my surprise, nothing happened. As you can see, they have very clearly taken all of their seeds and put them inside the nest entrance, and this is a very clear sign that they want to put some substrate into the nest entrance. So I decided that I would give them a new layer of substrate. So I cleaned the outworld a little bit, but it was just very hard to get out the small seeds. So I was happy with the cleaning result, and I now started to put in these very small rocks. So I would have liked some white rocks, but I just couldn't find any. So I got these gray, almost white rocks, and I'm pretty happy with the result because the workers are very clear when they are walking around on top of it. Though this worker was very curious when I made the setup, and I had to avoid her a lot because she kept going in the way. Luckily, I don't think she got hurt or anything. And after I had filled up the outworld with substrate, I put in the liquid feeders once again. I also inputted the seeds once again, and the sugar feeder was also inside the nest once again. And lastly, all the seeds I had taken were of course also due to come back, so I put them inside the seed balls once again, and this is the result. So I'm really satisfied with the end result because I was a bit scared that you couldn't see the workers, but they are very clear walking around. And as you can see, immediately they started carrying around these rocks. So I'm really happy, and I can't wait to see what they do with these rocks. Maybe they plug up their nest entrance, maybe they don't. Only time will tell. And yeah guys, that's it for this video. So it will be really exciting to see what they do with these rocks. Will they carry it into the nest? Will they just plug up the nest entrance like they did with the seeds? Will they use the seeds for the nest entrance once again? Will they now take the seeds into the nest? Or will nothing happen at all? Not much is sure at the moment, except that we'll have to wait till the next episode to find out what happens. And until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!